So, quick introduction, everybody. This is Justin Rothman. He is the closer at ClicksGeek. He's sold millions of dollars in Google Ads, websites. Jesus, what else? Facebook ads. You can sell anything really. Soon to be software. We're gonna do some high level stuff in the future. So a lot of fun stuff. So Justin, everyone in the group sent me questions. So I want to go through and ask them just
Okay.
what about how you operate, pretty much.
Okay.
All right, so let me go into my questions here. So I got two questions I want to start off with because I'm going to chop this up for YouTube. So
Okay.
best way to sell Google Ads? Like, what's your process from when a lead comes in into your closed CRM or whatever until it closes into a deal? Kind of
Uh,
walk us through high level.
Speed the lead. If anybody follows Hormozy, and I'm sure all of you guys do, since you guys are on the school platform, speed the lead's important regardless of what you have in place. Now, unfortunately, I can't set up an automation where a lead comes in automatically and it just sends them my calendar to book because I have to pre-qualify if it's a good fit for us or not, if it's an industry that we work in. So, I'll look at, I'll have a minute or less to take a look at the actual form that comes in, see it's a niche that we work in. If they leave blank information, I'm immediately texting them. This is not if I can't get them, if it's not during my call hours. I mean, I specifically respect my schedule between 9 to 5. Um, Call, book an appointment, send them my calendar. Usually I'd like to have them look at their calendar first because if I suggest a time to them directly, they're not going to realistically think and say, let me look at my calendar, or if the home service-based business, if they even have a calendar in place. So I send them my calendar, let them look at theirs, give them time, they'll line it up. It could be something that it's they book an appointment in 5 minutes. It could be a day, but I always set a secondary reminder if they don't for like 3 or 4 hours out to remind them that I'm bumping it up. From there, we book the appointment. From the appointment based, I like to ask a lot of pre-qualifying questions. I treat everything like a
Walk us through that, Justin. Walk us through the pre-qualifying questions. Like, what does that mean? What do you mean? Like, how do you?
So let's say, for instance, you have a junk removal company. Okay. So I'm treating it like a doctor's visit. I'm not the type of person that's going to go in and say, okay, well, here's our pricing. This is the budget that you need to have to get results. I want to find out where they're at stable wise with their company. So before I prescribe them, let's say a prescription, right? When you go to a doctor's office, they're going to answer a bunch of questions. What's going on? To find out what's wrong so that way they can prescribe a solution. The solution is a prescription or method of medicine, whatever it's going to be. So let's just say a loss like a junk removal company. I'll just talk about it that way. The first thing I'm going to ask them is where their current markets are. How far of a radius are they covering? Because if it's a 5-10 mile radius, if it's for Google ads, Facebook ads, it's not going to work. There's not going to be enough volume to come in there. So if they're in a very rural area, you have to kind of treat it as and tell them like, listen, we can do this, but it's realistically the volume of leads you're going to get is going to be lower because you're going to cap out in your impression share, your search volume, things of that nature. So that's the first thing I'll ask them. Then I want to talk a little bit about the services they offer. So I'll say, okay, well, do you offer residential and commercial junk removal, right? You want to have the knowledge in the industries that you're selling to, right? You want to ask them questions that they can relate to. They know you know their business. That's not hopping in and talking PPC or Facebook ads to them. I want to actually show them and I have knowledge and understand like their lingo of how they talk. So I'll say, do you do residential and commercial? Do you offer demolition as well? Because some junk removal businesses, they do demolition services as well. Then I'll ask them, are they the sole owner? Because that's the number one identifier. Do they have partners? Because I'm not having the secondary call with them because whatever I relate to them on that meeting, they're not going to remember what I said. I'd rather talk to both of them at once. Then I'll ask them if they have a website. I'll know if they do or not. That's more of an upsell approach, but realistically, I'll know that if they don't have one. I have to upsell them to be able to run ads because without Google Ads or without a website, you can't sell Google Ads. You can't set up a Google Ads account, right? Because of verification and legitimacy, realistically. Then from there, I'll ask them how many trucks do they have? Do they have a box truck, truck and trailer, dump truck, right? If they have one, two, or three. If they have one, a truck and trailer, you know where they're at. It's most likely a new startup junk removal company. I'll ask them how long they've been in business for, how they got into this industry. Then I'll ask them what their minimum to maximum tier pricing usually is. So do they do what do you charge for a single item pickup? That's for one single item. It's their minimum. It could be $90. It could go to $150. And then I'll ask them, what do they get for a full load or a full trailer? It could be 500, 600. If a guy says to me $300, it's going to be tough for that guy to get a return on their investment with ad spend. From there, I'll ask them, how many jobs are they doing on a week on average? So it could be 1 to 5, it could be 10 to 20, 20 to 30. That's going to give me.
Hold on, let me pop in real quick. So essentially, what you're doing is you're doing a lot of digging to find out, which is actually the side effect of that is building rapport with them while they're going through this, because you're shooting the shit with them as you're questioning them, as you're seeing if it's even a right fit.
Yep.
So building like that know, like, and trust factor during the entire sales call.
Yeah, so they'll understand that I have knowledge in their industry and experience in that. So it's helping me understand. They're starting to realize, well, this guy really knows about the service that I offer, right? It's going to make, that means he's worked with a lot of people in this industry, right? So from there, I'll ask them a little bit about how many jobs they're doing a week. That pre-qualifies knowing where they're at with their business. If it's 1 to 5, they're struggling right now. They're dealing with the small business roller coaster. 10 to 20, they're there, but what else do they need to do? Then from there, if it's 20 to 30, they're just looking to scale, right? That's what they want to do. They have a customer base. They're looking to build more customers, right? With growth. So outside of that, then things start to get fun. I'll ask them a little bit about their marketing, if they're doing paid, or anything organic, not paid. So they'll give me a list. If it's, I'll have guys tell me I'm doing postcards and direct mail, or I'm just doing signage, or I have a Facebook page. And then you have guys that are doing full service marketing. So I try to pre-qualify with this when you find the agency jumpers. This is the number one red flag with Google Ads. Have you ever ran Google Ads before any paid marketing? Yes or no? Okay. Yes, I have. Okay. So you've been in business for 3 years. Okay. How many agencies have you worked with? When was the last? Are you running them on your own, or have you worked with other agencies? Some guys will tell me they've worked with 1 or 2. They've never run Google Ads before. They've been running it on their own. And then the super red flag is like, I've worked with 5 or 6 agencies in the last year. All they're doing right there, that to me right there is a major red flag, because you're gonna in the interim, you're gonna make money on month 1, but everybody knows that month 2, 3, 4 is where the profits come in. These guys are in and out. They're just looking for quick results, and they have unrealistic expectations. From there, I asked them what their goals are. So with their goals, where do you want to see the business with their help, let's say in the next 3 to 6 months? That's another thing that's going to help me pre-qualify for them if they have unrealistic expectations. Well, I want to make $50,000 a month in revenue with a $50 budget for Google Ads. Doesn't work that way. The goals.
That's where you got to throw in the RE gold. Get the fuck out.
Yeah. That's going to be the huge question right there. That's going to really open the doors up, because I say, what are your goals? Why are we on this phone call? Where can I help you? Right. And that's where it really kind of opens up everything for you guys. Did I see Brian jumping on here?
Yeah, Brian's in here.
And you in here?
I am in here. How we doing, bud?
Good to hear from you, man. How you doing?
Pretty good. Wanted to jump on the bandwagon.
Yeah. Sorry, I saw you pop in, and I was like, I know Brian.
I know Justin's tactics. He's a great salesman, actually.
So, a little bit about the goals. That's going to really open things up for you guys to find out where they're at. That's like number 1. Then I'll go into my last pre-qualifying question is their budget, right? Like, what is realistically your budget? I understand you put $50 a day on here. Is that 5 days a week? Is that 6 days a week? Is that 7 days a week? What do you have for the next 3 months to spend? It's not about your monthly budget. I want to know what you have for marketing dollars, because if it's just 1 month, it's not going to work. Like, we need to make sure that you have 2 to 3 months of budget set aside, so these ads go uninterrupted. Okay. So that's like my prequel. That's where I talk in the beginning. I don't even really talk. I ask them questions, let them talk for a little bit, and then I figure out if I can make it work or not, because you're about 10 minutes into the sales call, and you don't want to overlap. Like, I'm not going to go into a pitch if I can't help them. After I hear all that with their goals, I let them know if it's going to be a good fit for not, or I can downsell them onto a different service. If someone tells me for junk removal that it's a $50 a day budget, I know in my mind when I use my golden ratio, if an average cost per click is 8 to, let's say, $15 to $20, and I need to generate 8 to 10 clicks a day to convert, if it's 20% to 40% of them into leads, that their budget needs to be $200. So I will map out for them why I'm about to downsell them into another program, because it's just not going to make sense and it's not going to work for them. And they will be in and out. And this is why they've been jumping from company to company, trying to reinvent the wheel for their business. And it's just not going to work that way. So that's my pre-qual process.
So tell us about the product, the downselling product. So I'm assuming, well, because I know that you're talking about Facebook, because you can get way more for your buck on $50 a day in Facebook than you can for Google Ads. So you'll decide, you'll based on the questions, based on the monetary questions as well, you'll decide where they're going to go, or if they even can go somewhere. If they can't, then you can either send them to like an educational piece of content or one of our partners who does different things, right? You put them somewhere. You don't just. Yeah.
There's going to be, there'll be kickback on it. And I'll basically tell them like, listen, we do have another system, a platform that would be great for your budget where we can generate you leads, because at the end of the day, I'm sure you guys all know this. Like when people talk to me, I'm like, what qualifies as a lead for you? A lead's not a customer. It's general interest. It's people shopping around for a quote. There's businesses out there that they think that Google ads, Facebook ads, we're generating customers for them. It's not the case, right? So I will downsell them into, I'll find out if they already, that's part of why I ask, like, marketing wise, what are they doing? Because if they didn't mention Facebook ads, I know I'm going to have them roped in for it because they have the budget for it. But does the budget match their management as well? Right. So I need to make sure, let's say if their budget's 40 a day, I'd rather it be for them if they were saying $75 a day. I have a little bit of wiggle room because I know I can go down $30, and that could be an extra $300-400 a month where my management will fit in. But I'll go in on attack mode and tell them about Facebook and completely go over it and just switch the script on them and go over some numbers and say, I can go over some case studies with you for Facebook. Or I'll mention, have you seen on our YouTube channel all the Facebook ads that we're doing? And they're like, oh yeah, but I just thought Google would be better for my business right now. So from there, I'll downsell them into that program. But it's not even a downsell because realistically, we're still generating leads for them in that process. If not, if they don't believe in, they'll be, the kickback's going to be, I've done Facebook ads before. Okay. Well, how did you do it? Did you do it your way? Did you do it our way? We have a proven system.
So you're downselling essentially their mindset is what you're downselling.
Yeah.
Like get them off of Google because it's not going to work for them with the costs. Like the math ain't jiving. If you want leads, you want to run marketing, here's where you got to go. Here's why. And you kind of hold their hand and walk them through that process as well.
And they respect it too, because I will tell them, like, listen, you've tried doing this current budget multiple times and it hasn't worked. Nobody's told you why it isn't working. The budget, it's all coming down to your budget. It's not enough for specifically in your niche, in your markets. It's not going to work. And I said, I'm telling you, no, I can't do it for the right reasons. Like I'm trying, and they like the transparency. And I'm like, I have a system that's going to work for you. And if you can commit to 2 months of it, you will see it. You will see the results. And then we'll go from there. If not, I will pass them along. I'll pass them along to our education courses. I will pass them along. I've been passing them along to the school now. I just had a home remodeler before on a call earlier. I didn't even get into the appointment because I know home remodeling is a nightmare niche to work in. And I said out of the gate, I said, well, it looks like you're in a rural area. I said, that's going to be tough. And I said, secondly, I can't help you with PPC, and this is why. And I told him why. And he's already running LSA ads. So there's different things where I can't help him anywhere. And Facebook, he didn't want anything to do with Facebook. He said he was already running social media and he had a bad taste in his mouth for it. So I'm not going to pitch him that, because if he had bad luck with it before, and he was really consistent on just wanting Google, I said to him, well, I think as a management, I can't help you, but maybe the course can help you if you want to manage it on your own.
Yeah. So you at least put them somewhere. So let me cut in because we only have 40 minutes here.
Yeah.
So we've covered how you take the sales call, how you start with digging questions, building rapport, putting them in the right product based on what your conversation was. Now walk us into, all right, you found the right product for them, putting them into the close.
Oh, the close.
Put them into the full Nelson.
Am I charging for my closing secret? I'll give you guys, this is gold. So after I have the conversation, if they don't tell me yes or no that they want to buy, if there's like that weird silence, like I'll let them, like after I finish my close and go through my pricing and map everything out, there's always going to be that weird awkward silence. They're going to say like, okay, what do I need to do to get started? I got to think about this. Like there's always going to be that little silence. So I literally hit them with this line. It's gold. It works for me all the time because it isolates the issue if they don't want to buy. So I'll ask them straight up, scale 1 to 10, based off what you've heard. 1, you wouldn't do it if it was free. 10, you'd be ready to move forward, but you can't use the number 7. Where do you think you're at? That is my closing. It works every time because people laugh.
Love
they think it's funny. They're like, damn, that's good. And it isolates it. Sorry, my cats are like attacking each other down here.
Good. That's awesome.
So they'll say, well, I'm an 8. Okay. Well, what's stopping you from being a 10? So it isolates, well, I don't have the budget right now. I have to talk to my partner. Okay, well, you have a partner. You told me before you didn't have a partner. That happens sometimes. You'll see that partner pop out of nowhere. It isolates the issue, and then it also is able to set where you can put them in your prospect level. If they're interested, like I'll put them in a rating from 10% to 100%. Right.
You talk about in your CRM, right?
In my CRM. Yeah. So nobody's saying they're 1. They wouldn't do it if it was free because everybody would do it if it was free. But the usual objectives are it's pricing or they just don't believe in it. Like
how do you isolate and overcome pricing?
A couple different ways. I mean, at least
give us one way. Give us one way. Next question.
Oh man, this is another good one. Giving all this stuff away for free. All right. So you guys ever heard of the phone charger reference? It's like, all right, pricing. So we're too expensive. Okay. Are you buying a price or are you buying a service? Oh, I just kind of want to know price. Like, pricing is kind of my way. All right. So we're, let's say $750 a month for management. There's 2 ways you can go about it. You say, I've got clients that pay more. I'm giving you a rate for where you're at with your business, or you hit them with the cell phone reference. So paying less for a service doesn't always mean better. So I'll say to them, what kind of phone do you have? I have an iPhone. Okay. So if your charger breaks and you need to go get a new charger, are you going to go to the gas station and buy the charger from the gas station because it's cheaper? Or are you going to go directly to the Apple store and buy the charger from the Apple store, but you're paying top price for it? Which one do you think is going to last longer and perform better for you? And that's how I isolate that, because
love it.
They're done with that. They're going to realize that you pay for what you get for.
Exactly. And the gas station chargers start on fucking fire and burn your house down.
That they do.
Everyone knows that.
Yeah. That's my drop on it, because it makes them think. They're like, and they're like, oh, I'm okay with the gas station. Well, guess you're not a good fit for me. And pricing is realistically like, it could go anywhere. I base my pricing off of where I think they're at with their budget. Like if somebody has like I know the minimum to scrape by, like their bare minimum for us to get results, they're going to get our tier pricing. I always base off things where I send them pricing of where they're at with their business. That's why I'm asking them. Tow truck company has 10 tow trucks. They can afford to pay top tier pricing. So that's all part of the pre-qual, finding out where they're at. So that's where I know I can drop them into a bucket of where I want to sell them in.
Amazing, dude.